All right, I think we are live now. Students, junior students, for homeroom today, we've talked a lot about college, we've talked about apprenticeship, but I wanted to take a week and just go over military options because I think that's a really great post secondary option as well. I have William Mensah with me. He's with the Army, and I'm just going to interview him. Just have 10 questions to kind of go through in this homeroom. So, William, tell us about yourself at first.
Yes, so my name is William Mensah. I've been in the Army today. Exactly, it's 10 years of my anniversary in the Army.
10 years
10,
today?
10 years today.
Congratulations.
Yes,
That's
thank you.
great.
So I'm excited. Yeah, I do serve with the Army, and currently I'm a recruiter. Formerly, I was a mechanic in the Army, and so I was, working on heavy diesel engines, any kind of mechanic like generators, HVAC systems. Yeah, I used to work on all those stuff. So my goal now is to, help young men and women, students, high schoolers, who need like a purpose or direction. The Army provides a solid foundation that can really help you with like a long career in life.
Okay. And that kind of leads into my second question already, and that's like, why should high school students consider the military as an option after high school?
So yes, when it comes to the military or the army in general, it does provide a purpose. It provides a structure. It also helps with discipline, leadership roles. Because one thing about the army that I have able to experience is they put you in positions where you are able to lead. So it's not just about your job, but it just gives you overall life leadership skills. That even if your goal is not to just do the full time in the army as a career, it gives you that skill to where you can apply to every area that you end up going. If you want to operate your own business, if you end up working for other corporations, because of that structure, purpose, and the leadership abilities that the army provided you, you
Okay.
are well equipped to where you can perform and outperform anywhere you go.
Gotcha. So really learning those leadership skills, those
Yep.
huge life skills.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I know you're with the Army. Can you tell us a little bit about the branches of the military
Okay.
and what that's like?
Yeah, so when it comes to the branches in the army, obviously, like each branch is different. That is why we all have separate branches, as you can call it. The army in general is a very large range. The broadest and the largest branch in the whole military. We have a lot of jobs, a lot of options. Which ranges from engineering to medical. When you go to the navy, they more work kind of like their goal is mainly like the sea and sea operations and then just presence, right? And then the air force, controlling the space and other stuff. And then when it comes to coast guard, they are more of like security, rescue, those kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then the marines are more of like combat, pure force, and wartime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a bunch of different branches that kids could get involved in there.
Yeah.
Now, you said you were a mechanic,
Yes.
that you started out that way. What kinds of like other jobs or other training could students get in the military?
Yes. So one thing about the army is we do have over 150 career jobs that you get to explore from. And one thing about us, you get to pick your own job. Like we don't force any job on you.
Okay.
So whether you have any interest in like construction, from signal technology, military police, you want to work in law enforcement, you want to be in the medical fields, you want to be in the combat field, we have all these job options, or even aviation. We have all these job options that you get to explore and pick and decide which one you want to be trained on. And another thing that I do like is we have something called cross training. So even depending on what job that you go in the army as, you always get the opportunity to cross train to learn other jobs and be well equipped when it comes to the army.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I've had friends that were, nurses in the military. I've had a friend who went into like IT and security in the military, mechanics. There's all kinds of stuff that
Yes.
they can get into. So that's great. Um, Also, like sometimes kids think like the military and college, those are exclusive, like those don't go together. But how can students utilize the military to pay for college? And can you go to college while you're in the military?
Yes, absolutely. So when it comes to the army, they one right now one of the big things that they push or preach all the time is civilian education. And we talk about civilian education, we talk about, of course, college and some sort of credential programs, right? So me, for example, I'll use myself.
Okay.
Well, I was in college for 2 years before I joined the army,
Okay.
but I was able to still complete my college education whilst being in the army because the army gives you what we call tuition assistance. They have this tuition assistance program where you get $4,500 every fiscal year, and our fiscal year start every October. So you have that money, whether you use it or you don't use it, it's still available to you to
Okay.
where you could use that for college classes. Another thing is every base that we have in the army, there's what we call education centers
Mm-hmm.
to where they work with multiple colleges, either local colleges or any colleges that are accepted to work with them. And so they are able to help students sign up for classes and continue to further their education. Because one thing about the army, you have a lot of time. You have a lot of time to where you'll be able to use those times for your educational goals and classes and stuff. Another thing too is we have what we call the Green to Gold program. This is where being in the army as enlisted, you can say, hey, I want to go to college full time.
Okay.
And what the army does is they'll move you to that school. You go to school full time, and they'll still pay you exactly your like active duty pay while you're
Mm-hmm.
going to the school. So it's like you're getting paid while going to the school, and then once you graduate, you get commissioned to become an officer for the army.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's another way you can earn your bachelor's degree or your master's degree program.
Okay. So yeah, so you're earning money and going to
You're earning
college,
money and going to college.
and they're taking care of your
Yep,
college as well.
exactly.
Okay.
And
All
most of
right.
the time, this prevents from accruing student loans, which we all don't. So it's a great way of utilizing that benefit to your advantage to where you don't have to own any take out student loans.
Yeah, and I know several students already that have signed up to. It's going to help them pay for college big time.
Yep.
To take care of things. What other benefits are there to joining the military?
Obviously, when it comes to housing, there's free housing, so you will never have to worry about paying for rent or utilities, none of that. Meals are covered if you're in the army. Of course, it comes with travel. So, if you are interested in like active duty or even the reserve, there's more of traveling, learning more about the world. Europe, Asia, Hawaii, Alaska, in so many different parts of the state that you get to travel and experience. And sometimes, those travel does open a lot of opportunities for you to where you're able to explore other careers as well while
Okay.
you're still in the army. And so, free medical, you never have to worry about health insurance and dental. You never have to worry about that because all of those is covered 100% with the army.
Okay. So getting to travel,
Housing,
housing,
meals,
meals, insurance,
insurance.
all that sort of
Yes.
stuff. Okay, that's great.
And on top of that, the great one, the college benefits.
Okay. Can you explain to students like what would their next steps be if they're interested in the military? We've got 16, 17-year-old students right now.
Yeah.
What would their next steps be?
So the most important one is, first getting with a recruiter. And then once you get with a recruiter, the first thing we normally do is have you take the ASVAB test. Now, the ASVAB test is literally like a battery test that helps for you to explore your career options. It's not mainly for just the military. Sometimes it just helps you to know what you are even good at without even knowing. So we use the test to kind of exercise and explore what kind of career fields that you are exploring. And then at that point, you could make a decision based on the job that you do qualify for to say, okay, I see myself doing that. This is what I want to do in my career. And then you go from there. Obviously, another thing too is now once you meet a recruiter, they will be able to go over the qualification process and everything with you as well. But the main thing is being able to take the test and explore these career programs.
Okay. I have two more questions. One is like Army specifically. Like, why did you personally like join the Army, or what are the benefits of the Army maybe over other branches?
Yes. So, like I said initially, the reason why I joined the army was I wanted to complete my schooling and I also wanted to travel. And the army has provided exactly that for me since I've been in for 10 years today. Um, they have it's the largest branch, so of course, it's be all you can be. We have multiple jobs, over 150 career jobs, one thing about us is you get to pick your own job, so you have that guaranteed training of choice that the other branches don't necessarily really have. And so you're able to literally explore your options before you even sign a contract or decide to join or explore with Army.
Okay. All right. And finally, like, how do students get in contact with you if they'd like more information specifically about the Army?
So yeah, so if they want to get in touch with me with more information, I have my email, which is william.mensah.mail@army.mil. And then my phone number is also 260-492-3146. Again, 260-492-3146. If they reach out to me, I'm available all the time to answer any question, or if you want to come in for an appointment. And most of the time, coming in for an appointment is not a commitment. It's just exploring more information, trying to see if the Army is a better fit for you or to be a better fit for your career in general. And so most of the time when we talk about appointment, they think, oh, I'm committing to something.
Okay.
It's just like buying a car. You just, you could test drive any car, but it doesn't mean you have to buy it. And so that is one thing we always just encourage them to come in and talk to us and get more information and try to see if that helps with their career goals as well. I'm also on Instagram as the official underscore Army recruiter. You can also follow me on there, and I'll provide more information as well if you need.
Okay. Great. When are you here? Are you here during lunches anytime soon as well?
Yes.
Kids could stop in and see you.
Yeah, so we do have lunch visit that we come in sometimes, and so I always announce when I'm coming in,
Okay.
and so that is another opportunity to where you can get in touch with me, and if you have any questions, I can help you understand the whole benefit of exploring careers with the Army.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your service. We greatly appreciate it. Congratulations on 10 years.
Thank you
That's
very much, sir.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yes. So thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
I'll have to clip the end of this off. And I can post